Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It is I, your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, and I am joined, of course, and as always, by my main man, Donnie Eat the Hype Reese.
What's up, dude?
We've got my name is Mayo down in Florida. Delvin once again with the ridiculous ass names.
Hello, children.
And we are also joined by a Bored with Video Games own Bored with Josh. How's everybody?
It's me.
It's me, Josh.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's my Twitter handle. My friends.
Awesome. So, how's everybody this evening?
Tired. Anybody else?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, we're all just silent, just like,
I'm tired.
With the exception of a few things, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good, actually.
That's really good to hear. I'm glad.
Weird morning, but
Florida's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
tell us about it.
Oh,
tell us about your weird morning. Let's go.
So, I'm a weird person. You may know. So this is the thing I do.
Understatement of the year.
Yes, I go wash clothes at like 4:30 in the morning because I go to a laundromat by my house. Yes, I do. The reason why
they open that early?
Because
there's a lot of questions here.
I live in the hood. There's a 24-hour laundromats all over here.
Wow.
See, this is what happens when you record 78 podcasts a week.
Exactly.
You're relegated to doing your clothes at 4:30 in the morning.
You can podcast at the laundromat.
That's absurd.
That's a terrible idea. But
that's an IRL podcast right there. Make it happen.
That is a robbery attempt waiting to happen. So
I mean, I feel like going to a laundromat just in general in Miami is a robbery happening. Like, why don't you have a washer and dryer?
Well, I'll get to that right now. See, I
Did
used
we
to have
talk about that.
We may have. I don't think it might not have been on this show, but I have mentioned it before. I had a washer
many
and dryer.
other shows.
I think it was on PSXP. I had a washer and dryer right in my backyard.
What?
Yes.
Oh boy, this is getting more Florida.
I'm gonna get to it. It's like a, how do you call it? It's like almost like a carport area with a shed in it, right? So I had a washer and dryer in there, but there was behind my house. There was a house.
Hang on.
I picture like a washboard and
you said you had a washer and dryer in your backyard.
Yes.
You then said it was in the carport, which is an outdoor like overhead hang patio that you said a shed is in.
It's weird. It's
so what is actually in the yard versus
we need pictures.
Cars are in the yard. Think of the Karate Kid. Yes, there's 2 cars in the carport, and there was a washer and dryer in that area because the carport's huge. But I digress. What happened was the house behind my house got torn down, got demolished. And when that house got demolished, apparently that house was full of rats.
Ugh.
And those rats proceed to come to my house, my backyard, and literally eat the washer and dryer. So one day when I was going to wash clothes, I opened up the lid to the washing machine, and it was full of rats. So I said, fuck this. I will never have a washer and dryer back here ever again, and I would just go wash clothes in a laundromat that's 5 minutes away from my house. So I immediately paid somebody.
Wouldn't that attract like the snakes and alligators that you run from?
No, not really.
Because
in the area I live in, there's no snakes and alligators. Well, there are snakes. There are no alligators. So I'm fortunate that way.
Sure, buddy. Sure.
So I decided to get rid of this washing machine and dryer and decided to go to the laundromat. Now I go at 4:00 in the morning because anytime after that, the laundromat is crowded. And when I say crowded, it's like jam-packed crowded. And usually there's this one person who uses 10 dryers. God knows why. And so I don't want to deal with that shit. So I just say, nope, I'll just go early in the morning before I go to work. Now, this is what happened.
You don't know why they use 10 dryers? I mean, that's a very explainable. It's an easy explanation. They don't want to be there all day.
So they put
trying to get in and out of here in 1 hour.
They put like 2 pieces of clothes in each dryer.
Hey, you got delicates, man. You don't understand how this works.
Fuck that. No, that's terrible. So I'm driving to the laundromat this morning at 4:30, and I notice a scooter following me. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? These fools finna jack me. This dude finna jack me.
On a
Some
scooter?
I'm gonna get to that.
I've
Scooter was
never
following
thought
me.
of that in my life. Here
Oh,
comes.
Like
I
I
mean,
said, this is
Scooter
Miami.
gang.
I feel like he's about to roll up with a Uzi.
Exactly.
What?
Something like that. That is a common thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right.
I can see it.
So I'm like, damn, I ain't got no weapon on me, but I'm gonna have to stop, and I don't want this food to follow me to my house and nothing like that. So let me just pull in the laundromat and let's just see what happens. If anything, I got a bat in the car. I'll do my best with that. So,
Wait, it's Florida. Is it a real bat or a baseball bat?
oh, it's a real bat, a real baseball bat, not a bat, actual bat. I'm not Batman, not Ted Ellis.
It helps to fight off the rats.
So I pull into the laundromat. Dude walks up to me like, yo, man, what the fuck you want? Hey, man, do you have 50 cents so I can go put gas in my scooter?
He
I say, fam, you just followed me for 3 fucking blocks to ask me for 50 cents to put gas in your scooter. Yeah. I said, man, here go 50 cents, man. And
You couldn't
sure enough,
honk. Like he couldn't
didn't
pull up and
honk.
honk like
nothing.
you wasted gas chasing me for 50 cents.
Yes, for 50 cents. And I kid you fucking not. I watched him drive the scooter to the gas station.
Get a bucket of chicken?
And put 50 cents in the
chicken.
in the scooter.
Wait a minute. No, what was
50
a bucket
cents
of
is
rice?
getting you literally a drop of gas at this point. It's going to
Yes.
get you a drop.
He
Okay.
literally did that.
It's a
'Cause
sandwich.
How much
There's
is
a
gas
gas
in
station across
Florida
the
right
street.
now? What's gas in Florida?
For premium is $4.25.
Oh boy,
It's fucking expensive.
Yeah, that's 5+ out here.
that's man.
Well, that's
man.
because you choose to live out there where they could do war on gas machines. So, I mean, aw.
The new cat?
Adorable cat.
New cat.
Yeah.
And,
She wanted
and as
attention.
Stuffy said, another story from my morning time is when a homeless person gave me a free pair of Jordans. That actually happened too.
You said
Wait a
Jordan
minute,
or
you took a
Jordan?
homeless person's shoes?
Yeah, he gave me a pair
Right.
of Jordans. He's like, hey,
He
Here
didn't
you
give
go.
you jack. You jacked a pair of
No.
a homeless dude's shoes.
no, he actually gave me a pair of Jordans.
Uh-huh.
He was like, hey,
He thought she was Mr. Wendell.
That's shame.
he probably
Shameful.
did. He was like, hey.
Why is it Mr. Worldwide DC like paying somebody to do the laundry? You ain't got folks
Or
to
why
just
don't
do
you
that for
just
you?
get
I'm
hookups
like
in
Rick
your
Ross.
house?
I don't want to pay that extra. Like, you know how Rick Ross was like, I don't want to pay $10,000 for these trees to get cut down, so I'll just do it myself. I'm like, I'll just do it myself. I'll just wash these clothes myself.
Wait till
All right.
GameStop starts selling washers and dryers. It'll be good. Best Buy is selling mattresses and hard times. GameStop will be selling washers and dryers and refrigerators. And
I would never buy another washer and dryer again. Fuck that.
I mean, you could get the hookups in the house. Like you don't have to wash your clothes in the
who
backyard.
the hell is carrying a washer and dryer up them damn stairs?
The people that deliver it.
Yeah, the people
Yeah,
you
that's
buy
like,
it from.
what the hell world do you live in?
I mean,
Huh?
I've carried a washer and dryer upstairs on a more than a few occasions. You ain't never moved before?
I moved to the place I am in now, and I said I'm never moving again.
You strap
Take all
it
this
to
shit.
the
I
you
appreciate
strap it
that.
to the hand truck and you one stair that
Pull
bad
it up.
boy up the stairs one at a
Doom.
time.
Dump,
That
dump.
seemed like a lot of
It's-
work.
It is. But
Yeah.
sometimes
Then you're
work's
not
gotta get
waking up
done.
at 4:30 to go wash your clothes.
It's not that
You
bad.
just wash them whenever you feel like it.
No, that's terrible. That's awful.
It's not
Doing
bad.
a
I wake
show?
up early anyway.
Recording a podcast, throw the clothes in the washing machine. Simple.
Yeah.
Honestly, with
I'm
his
washing the load
priorities,
right now.
with his priorities, he would probably get people to do his podcast while he washed the clothes, then wash the clothes. It'll be
That's not a bad
Delvin.
idea.
It'll be the Delvin Cox experience, starring Chalfie and some other person, without Delvin, while he washes the clothes. But the
That's
show
not
will
a bad
continue.
idea. Can I
Isn't
co-
that
can
just
I,
Cadillac on Mars? Isn't
I
that?
don't
Yeah,
That's what that. Yeah, because they kick him
Probably.
off that show all the time, right?
all the damn time. Fuck you, Chalfie. Piece of shit.
He's in the chat.
Jeez,
I know. That's why I
He is
said
in
it,
the chat.
specifically so he can hear it.
they got dark quick.
If you're listening, Chalfie, fuck you.
Damn. You know, I come from
There
a
you have
very G podcast, and this is a very.
This is
long-
not that.
It's a trip, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it'll throw you for a
This
loop.
This is something else. All right. Enough with story time with Delvin. Let's get into what we've been playing. And let's start with you, Josh, as you are our guest. What have you been playing?
We just said hype train. What have I been playing? What a good question. Horizon Forbidden West. We can talk about that in a minute. I've been playing. I got the Ghostbusters remaster on Xbox. A game I never played when it came out, and I got it because my 4-year-old wanted me to get it, which is weird on its own. He told me he knew what Ghostbusters was, and I didn't know how he knew that, because in my head I'm like, Ghostbusters too scary for a 4-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the
Like-
reboot movie.
No, the original.
He knew
My
the
daughter
original
is 10
Ghostbusters.
and she's scared of Slimer.
He's like,
What?
he said, he
Yeah.
mentioned Slimer specifically, and he goes, he eats hot dogs. I was like, how do you know that? Who told you
That's
that?
impressive.
That was one of the
So-
earliest like Halloween movies I introduced to my kids at a young age was Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think it's good. Like at 8, he's half
Yeah.
that age. So every time we go to Target, he looks at this Ghostbusters remaster game. He never wants to buy it. He just wants to look at it. And then finally, last Saturday, he wanted to buy it. So I introduced him to Real Ghostbusters, the cartoon, first, because I was like,
Great
this
show.
is
Nice.
easy, right? Like it's on YouTube. We watched a couple episodes, and he's like, Daddy, can we watch the show? So, I mean, play the game. So we played the game. He was like really into it. My folks watch him on Mondays, and I get a text from my wife around like 4 p.m. And she's like, Jameson said he watched the first Ghostbusters movie today with Papa. And I'm like, what? You watched the whole movie. And I came home that night, and he's like, I wasn't scared at all. It was really good. So I think I get a little horror head on my
I have a
hands, which
question,
is
Josh.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Did you show him the other Ghostbusters cartoon show?
Oh boy.
Did you guys know
What
about
am I
this?
forgetting?
There's 2 Ghostbusters cartoon shows that came out at the same time.
Yeah, there's the Real Ghostbusters. Oh,
And
I
there's
know exactly what you're talking
The
about.
Funimation one with
Yes.
the ape.
Yeah, it's like
With
what,
the what?
actually like the Lou Albino Mario version of Ghostbusters. It's like really weird.
Devin's face.
It's just really weird animated Ghostbusters. And there's is there a dog? What is the thing that's with them?
They're with a gorilla.
A gorilla. Thank you. Yeah.
It's a gorilla, and it's 2 guys.
Yes.
And
It's very
nothing
weird.
like the movies.
No, I won't show him that one.
Apparently,
Of course you remember it, Sean. That sounds like some more Ghostbusters in
Yeah.
Canada shit. Much more Ghostbusters.
it's made by the same people who made He-Man.
Poltergeist
and
and
Busters.
they had to
Yes.
name the cartoon Real Ghostbusters because they were in a legal dispute with the people who had the Ghostbusters cartoon,
Exactly.
and they wouldn't give them the rights. Yeah, I do remember that.
Terrible show.
Crazy, terrible show. I 100%
I
agree.
just, I don't even.
So anyway, we played the Ghostbusters game. I never played it, and I don't know why. And it's essentially like the sequel to Ghostbusters 2. I was very impressed with the voice acting, and they got everyone back. I don't know how I think I just forgot it. Like I must have known this was a thing when it came out. I just spaced on it.
Real good game.
It's fun so far. I got past the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, so we're gonna keep playing on Sundays when it's Son and Dad Day. But yeah,
Nice.
Horizon. I'm still trucking along. If you listen to Bored with Video Games, you'll know I had a save file corrupted, and I lost about 10 hours worth of progress. I almost quit playing the game, but I couldn't give up
Oh.
on the sequel to my favorite game ever. So
That would have been heartbreaking.
it was
Yeah.
heartbreaking. I actually had a pretty rough day after that. And I was like, why am I letting a video game affect my life so much? But it really did. Like 10 hours is a big chunk of my gameplay because I only get 2.5 hours a night in dad mode to play games. So that's like a week. I lost a week's
Mhm.
worth of progress.
Yeah, that definitely
That's
pisses me
rough.
off.
So I'm back. I earlier said I was like back caught up to where I was, but really I'm just back caught up to the level I was because I realized when I was talking to Kyle, I went on a different path. Like he went to this village and I went to a different village. So the progress was about the same, but just in different parts of the game. So I'm further in now. I'm level 25. I've done a bunch of stuff. I don't want to spoil anything about the game. I know that you guys are playing. I know Donnie isn't playing, but I know Dev and Delvin are playing.
Definitely not playing.
And I, without spoiling anything, I really wanted to mention, and maybe you guys feel the same way. I had a real weird God of War moment with the first. Like there was a fight that happened that reminded me of like a Valkyrie fight. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It happened relatively early. With
the shield guy.
Yeah. With
I know what you're talking about.
well, with a I don't want to spoil anything. With a new character.
Spoil it, Josh.
to-
Everyone's playing Elden Ring anyway.
With
They
a new-
moved on.
so-
That is not true.
No, that isn't true.
Is it the
I
is
still
it the
have
rest,
Elden
is it
Ring. I
where
haven't
you
played
get
it yet.
the is it where you
When-
get the glider from?
When you
say
no
that?
no it's when you
When
run
did we
into
get that?
Carrie Ann Moss's character first, and she is not alone.
Yeah.
And there was this like
yeah.
there was this fight that happens after that I kept thinking of God of War while I was doing it in a good way, but it was just very new to Horizon, very out of the Horizon scope of game. And I'm waiting for
Yeah.
this. I'm waiting for this moment to come back again, like because I know there's going to be more, and I'm still loving
Yeah.
playing Horizon in the world I'm used to. But there's this anticipation I have of when is this next moment going to hit, because I have no idea what to expect. It's like
This one feels a lot more
crazy.
cinematic than the first one does.
It's very cinematic. They really crushed the look and feel of the voice actors and the animations of the characters you're talking to.
Yeah.
And they threw in a board game into this game that
Yeah.
I would legitimately buy. Look,
Yes,
I
it's a pretty
when
good
I
definitely
game.
got
expect
my
them to sell it and for you to
Horizon
have it.
collector's edition, I got my Machine Strike figures, and they're wooden,
That's cool.
and they're super cool, and they're actually pieces from the game, which I wasn't able to appreciate until I got to that part of the game, and I was like, oh, that's what those things are, not just some junky wooden pieces that came in a collector's edition.
Nice.
And I think you can see my mammoth up behind me next to my Horizon board game up there.
Mhm.
Big old
Mhm.
bad boy. And my
Yeah.
Mario Legos behind me. Yeah, so I'm not really playing too much else because like life's been hectic and crazy, but Horizon's still there for me when I need it. And I have Elden Ring, and it's just sitting there. I don't know why I pre-ordered it and bought it right away. I'll play it at some point. And I almost started playing it once Horizon, when I lost all my save stuff. I was like, oh, time to go to Elden
feel
Ring.
like-
But if I loved it, I was gonna never get back to Horizon.
I almost
I
did the
feel
same
like you've
thing.
lost like saves before.
Yes,
did.
it's been.
Like-
I lost all of my PS4 saves. when
Yeah,
I
when
got
he
my
moved over to
PS5.
PS5, he lost them all.
I lost my platinum. Well, I got my platinum on Ghost of Tsushima, but I lost my save data, all my Avengers. Ironically, the only thing that did stay was Horizon. I lost everything else. I lost my Final Fantasy VII remake save, where I spent. I can't even tell you how many hours in that game. That was devastating.
That
but-
sucks.
That
You know,
does
I
suck.
got the experience of playing those games, and I really enjoyed it. So, like, I mean, what am I gonna do? Complain forever? Probably, but it doesn't make me happier.
Awesome. Yeah. You playing anything else other than Horizon, Delvin, or can we just keep talking about Horizon until we let Donnie go?
We can keep talking about Horizon. Yeah, I'm still
Okay.
enjoying my time with it. It's great. I almost got the Elden Ring. I played the intro of it, and then I was like, I got to a part in Horizon. I'm like, yeah, I can't stop this. I got to a major story point in Horizon, and I just like, let me finish this because this is getting really good, and I'm enjoying. Like I said, the cinematicness of it, and just the fact I feel like this one tells a more complete story than the first one did. The first one
Yeah.
felt more like you can go around and do cool things and enjoy the world. This one feels like even when you do side quests, the side quests have meaning to them. Like you can go to a certain side quest, you go, like they have like a what are the things called in Far Cry? Like the little base you have to clear out almost. They have
Yeah.
some-
What are they
Outpost.
called?
Yeah, outposts. They have outposts in this game, and so far,
those are just the game. Talking about the Gambit camps or the bandit camps, or is
Yeah.
it something else?
yeah, they're bandit camps. But
They had those in the first one.
yeah,
They
but this is what I'm going to get to with that. When you clear, like, I don't want to get too spoilery in them, but certain things happen when you clear them out that add to the story, and they tell little stories about, like, oh, this is what's going on in this outpost. It's not just like you clear it out, yeah, you're done. Like, oh, this is what they were doing here.
Yeah.
I have to stop this because this is what's going to happen if I don't stop this, and it adds more liberty to the story, and I like that aspect of it. Like, okay, I have a reason to clear out these outposts now, as opposed to just let's just kill all the bad guys in this area.
It also has some like Mass Effect stuff in it too. Like you're actually like getting a crew together.
Oh, that brings
it's very Mass Effect-y when I think about that. Like it's connecting these people together, and we're actually using the focus for like good
communication
instead of like we're actually using the focuses for what they were made, and they're really putting a lot more of the past into this game, like tenfold over what they did in the first one. Like and that also reminded me of like Last of Us, where like you're experiencing like these museums and stuff, and it's telling these stories from like what, and like you get to see what these tribes are reacting to, not just Aloy now. So I think that's interesting too.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you guys are saying, like it has this more complete cinematic feel. Like everything you're doing feels a little more connected. All the stories kind of seem like they're interwoven a lot better than just like one-off side missions. So you just feel way more invested to go do side missions and to help out these people. Like you really feel like you're doing, the world some good by helping all these different clans. And just the way they do the cutscenes, the way that they're not just static. Aloy moves around. There's way more expression on their face. When somebody says something to make somebody upset, they visibly react to that. So they've done a much, much better job with their cutscenes in actually portraying way better emotion. The voice acting is just superb. And you just really feel like the world just feels a lot more alive than Horizon Zero Dawn did. As Chaffee says, it's Horizon talking sim. I don't even know why he's playing a game. This is not a game for Chaffee. He just wants to golden path it and not talk to anybody.
I've been hearing that from a lot of people. I was gonna say that I've been hearing the BioWare kind of Mass Effect thing. There's really long, large amounts of exposition and characters talking and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But you can also choose not to. You can choose. It's just like First Horizon. You get the wheel, and there's always one option just to like skip the small talk and go right to the mission. It's always an option in the game too. So you're not really like. I know that there's a lot of games that are long-winded out there, and this one gives you.
This one doesn't have to be.
Do you want all the story?
You can ignore all that. You can ignore it all. Just give me the mission.
Yeah, but the question is, do you want to?
There is points where there's one point in the game I think of you can't really ignore it all, because there's one like long exposition cutscene in the middle of the game where I'm like, oh, okay. I enjoy it because I like the story so far. Yeah. But I can see how if you just want to get out in the world like Chaffee, he wants to get out in the world and just finish the game in 10 hours. I can see how that would be annoying.
I'm looking forward to playing it, but that was one of the reasons when I was talking about it in the Discord earlier in the week, like the Mass Effect compare. Mass Effect's not my jam.
Yeah.
And things that are like Mass Effect are typically not my jam. Is my least favorite part of like Anthem and Skyrim and like a lot of those things too. So that it was giving me some hesitation. But Josh
it's
talked
like
me
that.
down.
Yeah, if you want it to be, you can just, again, you don't have to talk to half those characters. And if you do, you can just go ahead and hit the give me the mission. You don't have to build on, that person's story.
Dying Light does a lot of that as well, by the way.
Yeah.
And I do kind of speed right through it in Dying Light. I'm just like, I'll get like the first sentence. They'll open up. I'm like, okay, I get it. Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
And I'm just moving on.
Oh man, that hurts my feelings. I love all the extra exposition in the story. Like,
it
just makes the world feel so
Destiny,
much better.
you're going out and reading websites and books and stuff. Like, nobody's got time for that.
I mean, speaking of books,
It's not a video game,
I
man.
just got the next Horizon comic book, bro. This came today.
Okay. I love it.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's lovely. It's great. Horizon is a wonderful world for everyone. It's for you and me. All right.
Have you read it yet?
No, it just came today. It like
Yeah,
I,
have you read,
I just got home.
So this is
I
the
read the
second
first one.
Okay, that's
This
what
is
I'm
the
asking.
second
Is it
one,
good?
yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
It's good. It just adds more to the world of Horizon. So if you like Horizon, the comics are actually like just a really good additional piece of media. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, enough Horizon talk. Donnie, what you been playing?
Oh man, I talked so much last podcast. I'll be quick. Playing Cyberpunk. I did play a lot of Valhalla this weekend. I did take part of the free play weekend. I wanted to check out the free, I mean not the free, but Ubisoft's cross saves. I was like, oh, I want to check out Valhalla on my PC, and maybe I'll play Ragnarok on PC. Worked like a charm. I didn't even have to do anything. I expected to maybe, get in there and try to connect accounts and all that. Nope. I just logged in and they were like, here's your save. I didn't have to import it or download it. It literally was just there. It just clicked like I was playing on my Xbox. It was just there. So I played the Isle of Skye, which came out in December, and I never played it on Xbox. And to be honest with you, I'd forgotten all about it. It's kind of it was DLC, but it's kind of like a standalone, like little side mission. It took like, I don't know, like an hour or two. It wasn't that great, to be honest with you, but it does feature Cassandra from Odyssey. She makes an appearance, and then you and Cassandra and Eivor go off and kind of solve a mystery together. And it's got all that Assassin's Creed stuff with the apples and all the extra stuff and the Templars, and so like it was a little fetch questy, but it's Valhalla, and I love Valhalla. It's super fetch questy and fighting and all that, and I 100% will be playing Ragnarok on PC now. I ran at 4K 60 locked, and I'll be playing Ragnarok via Ubisoft Plus. So I will sign up for a month for $9.99 instead of giving them $40. And on my birthday, I will take back to Valhalla and enjoy it. I mean, I said it back on Xbox Empire. I said it then, and the more and more I continue to play, the more and more I believe it. This is the best Assassin's Creed game ever. It is absolutely my favorite Assassin's Creed game. I think it's the best Assassin's Creed game. I love it, but I also like Viking stuff. So, but yeah, so I played that this weekend, and then I think it became topical this week. But I told you guys that I was going to play the Steam Next Fest. I had some demos to play. I tried to play them Monday because I was off Monday and completely, I guess, missed the fact that several of the demos just weren't available come Monday. But one of them was, and it's a game called Little Orpheus, which is this 2D platformer. Reminds me a lot of Trine. Feels like Trine, if you guys have ever played Trine.
Yep.
And it's from I forget the name of the folks, the Dear Esther developers. I think they're under Sumo Digital now. The Chinese Room. Is that right?
I think that's right.
Oh, I hope so. That's completely off the top of my head, so maybe I'm wrong. But it's a great little game. It's really pretty. It's beautiful. It's got a neat little thing where you drill to the center of the earth to find something, and then you basically end up in this very vibrant tropical setting with dinosaurs and stuff roaming around. So there's like T-Rexes and stuff, and you're like, oh wow, this is cool. I'm kind of digging what they're doing. So I played the demo, had a lot of fun. It was supposed to launch yesterday, and it was delayed. And the reason that it was delayed is because in this game you play as Comrade from Russia. And when I was playing the demo on Sunday, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
And you're correct. It is the Chinese Room.
Thank you. It's just super unfortunate that was the character that they went with. And it's not bad. It's very cartoony and comical, but you can tell like now is not the best time to release a game like that, with that emphasis. And again, I'm not trying to take shots at it because I get what they're trying to say. This is nothing that media and entertainment hasn't done to Russians in general. But they do kind of, like the guy, like you're looking for an atomic bomb that was a part of your rocket ship, and and like you're being drilled to retell this story by like a superior officer, and he's like, oh, you don't believe me, that there are these insects the size of dogs, and he's like, no, but I could have you killed, and it's just like bad timing, really, really bad timing. So I was going to come on the show and talk about how I like the game and like the demo. I definitely wishlisted it. I look forward to playing it. And I was gonna say, like, I wonder if people receive this well. Well, they didn't even get a chance because the day it was supposed to be announced, the Chinese room announced that it was delayed indefinitely. They're just like, nope, let's just not put this out at all. And that's been something that has kind of continued to come up as we're seeing more and more things with any sort of Russian influence or inclusion of Russian people or the Russian nationality start to be pulled. I think it's at least interesting. I don't think we've ever had anything quite like that. Like in the world of video games, we saw, what is it? What's the Xbox game?
6 Days of Fallujah.
No. Well, that was like a whole separate thing. No, the Chernobyl Xbox game. Sean in the chat. Stalker. Yeah, Stalker 2. We saw that it's been delayed indefinitely.
Yeah,
because they have a studio in Ukraine, and they're like, yeah, we're not making video games right now, obviously. So I just thought it was neat, not in like in a good way, but that it's a really good example of how these world events are kind of affecting video games in a bunch of different ways. Obviously, the folks in Ukraine, they've got real things to worry about, not just trying to release their game. But there's a lot of games that have made fun of Russians or had Russians or included Russians or made Russians the bad guys. And I could only
America. Good job.
I could only imagine what the Chinese room devs are thinking. Like, that's got to just suck, right? They've probably been building this game for 2 or 3 years. It is a very narrative adventure, like 2D game, and they just have this game, and right when they go to release it, it's like Russia invades another country, and they're like, shit.
Yeah, so you can't play it for something like that. That's
yeah. So
not only that, but they took Chernobyl, which is definitely a plot point for a lot of these games.
Exactly. So I just thought it would be something to mention on the show, but that's it for me. I'm playing Cyberpunk. I still love Cyberpunk.
I love that you're playing Cyberpunk right now. I jumped back in and man, the need to go back to that game is so strong for me. So
I'm having a blast.
I'm loving to see you play it. Yeah.
I'm in the middle of Act 2, Josh. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I'm in the middle of Act 2. I just caught up with your Android friend.
What's your background? What did you pick for your start?
I'm Nomad.
Okay, so I did Nomad my first playthrough, and when I started it back up with the patch, I started as Street Kid, and I was shocked at how different just the first hour is. I thought it was going to be relatively like copy paste with just a different background. It's totally different. I was very surprised.
I think it's like that with all 3 of them. I think it's like that with
Corpo
as well.
I'm never gonna play Corpo. Sorry, but I'm happy to do Street.
I'm interested to see like how it ends. I was
all day.
I didn't investigate anything, but I saw a tweet to a guy that said it had like 11 endings or something. I was like, oh man, there's so many different endings. But I'm having a blast. As I said before, I think Keanu's my favorite celebrity cameo in a video game. Honestly, don't think it's very close. Like, he feels like a very
he kills it. He knocks it out of the park.
He really does. Like, he's just a very fulfilled. I honestly, when he came out the Xbox thing and everything, I thought it'd be like a side mission, like something like he's there. No, he is a main character throughout this entire game.
Yeah,
it's dope. It's awesome.
I can't wait to follow you on your journey because
gorgeous.
It gets crazy.
It's a beautiful game. I've got like 6 cars. I'm really kind of addicted to getting more cars. And I'm not doing the gear stuff. I don't care. Like, I'm just give me the stuff with the most points.
Did you deal with the police lady yet?
No.
The butch haircut. It's like, is her hair white or something like that?
I don't think so.
Scars. Oh man, Are you streaming this? Because I want to watch you play.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. I am playing.
I'm streaming it.
I'm playing with my headphones. My headphones are great. I'm enjoying those headphones a lot, Dev. The haptics, they make a world of difference. It is to the point where if I can play something, I want to play on my PC. It's a major factor. Like, I want to play with the headphones. It is very immersive. Like feeling the gunshots or feeling the car rev with the headphones. I mean, it's just, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting back to it. I haven't done as much Cyberpunk this weekend because of Valhalla. Like, I wanted to take advantage of the free-to-play weekend. And then, as Dev knows, I bought a car, paid off a lot of bills. Like, I had the refinance. Like, I've done a lot this week. So I'm looking forward to, like, Cyberpunk will definitely be like, usually I don't play a lot of games Monday, Tuesdays. It's like I kind of catch up with the wife, and then as I lead into the weekend, I get back into my game. So I'll be looking forward to more Cyberpunk maybe tomorrow, and then definitely Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
I hope to wrap it up here in the next week or two. That's it for me.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Well, now that that's out of the way, Donnie, let's get into the news.
Ooh, is it that time? We're going to do that?
You know what time it is? It's time for PSVG News. Doesn't matter what you're into. PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or PC. The crew's got you covered. So what are you gonna do? Start the game talking now!
He's so angry.
I love it. God, Travis, if you had ever told me when we started this that at some point I would get Robert Atkins Downs to do a bumper for us, I'm done. I can retire a happy person. Poekmon held a Poekmon Presents over the weekend where they unveiled a new generation of Poekmon games that are coming this fall, Poekmon Scarlet and Violet, and they announced some new starters. Now, obviously, we're not going to break this all down because we have an amazing Nintendo show, a part of the network, the Nintendo Shack, which if you're not subscribed to and listening to, you should. They'll be breaking this all down tomorrow, but I at least want to mention that they have 3 new starters. I honestly haven't heard anybody say them yet, so I hope I don't butcher the names, but Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley.
Yeah.
And I'm over the moon for these. These are some of my favorite starters I think I've seen in a Pokemon game in years, like decades, like a very long time. Folks that follow me on Twitter or have heard me listen to a long time probably already know this, but the duck's my favorite animal. I've always been a duck fan. That's why Psyduck's my favorite water Pokemon. But I just like ducks in general. Me and my wife and my kids, we feed ducks all the time. It's kind of like a hobby thing that I like to do occasionally. I like to have fun. I've always wanted to have a pet duck at home. My wife hates it. I show her duck TikToks and stuff all the time. So she loves it.
TikToks?
She loves it, but she hates like how excited I am. Like there's a flea market at the end of the road, and they have like a duck water slide where you can go watch little ducks like slide down.
What?
And I'll spend all day there. Just
Hold on.
I just think it's adorable.
So
Okay,
these
as
duck
a-
TikToks, are the ducks holding phones and they're like, all right, I gotta do this TikTok real quick.
No,
Really,
no,
Delvin?
no. It's like
Really?
no, it's
Of
pictures
course,
of
the
God
duck.
damn it.
There are people that take like their
God.
ducks to Starbucks and get them like water and stuff, and you can see them
What?
drink. Or yeah, man.
What did you think it was? It's people doing
ducks
stuff with
with
ducks.
ducks. Have you ever
So,
like?
I mean, if it was alligators, it'd probably be more something you would understand. Gators
right,
and
so
frogs, right?
I'll sell this a little more. The only Beanie Baby I've ever had in my entire life, I've actually carried with me since I was about in 4th grade, and it was a yellow duck named Quackers. And I love this duck forever. And when I met Melissa, I actually gave her Quackers, and years later, my wife gave my daughter Quackers. So I've had this Quackers Beanie Baby around for damn near like 20 years. It's just been around
That's
my family.
adorable.
My
I
whole
love that.
family knows that I love ducks. So Quaxley, which is this, I don't know, pompadour, comb
Donald
over.
Trump looking duck. No one
Duck,
should like
man.
this duck. He looks like Donald Trump.
It's
No.
adorable. Don't do
Donald
that
Trump
to
can look
don't
like that
do
on his
that
best day.
to my Pokemon. Do not.
Uh,
Josh.
I'm all on board with the other
Josh,
two.
do not do that to my dear Quaxley.
Oh,
If
you
anything,
can't boot the guest.
If
I
man.
anything-
didn't do
You
it.
can't.
Pokemon did it. Game
if
Freak
anything,
did
the
it.
duck looks like one of the Beatles. Okay, let's get it right.
Oh,
but-
don't insult the Beatles like that.
I love
What?
I love the duck. I'm completely on Team Quaxley. This is honestly gonna be like what I honestly, if they'd announced this without the duck, I would have been like, yeah, pass. Pokemon hasn't been doing it for me lately. And then they do this, and they show me these 3 Pokemon, even though the game still doesn't look super great. And I absolutely will buy it because I'm like, I've got to beat the game as the duck now. Like we just have to. So hashtag Duck Gang. I'm all in. What did you guys think of the Pokemon starters? And actually, as Matt Dawson writes in, what do you think of the new Pokemon starters? Which one's your favorite? What do you guys think?
I like the fire
look
guy,
cool.
the fire type.
Fuecoco?
Sure. Yeah.
It's
Did
very
you see
cute.
the video I shared in Nintendo Shack?
I don't think so.
It's about how do you know it's cook named Josh Scherzer. He's from Mythical Entertainment, and he did a TikTok about how I would cook the new Pokemon starters, how I would
my
prepare them.
I am more interested
It's
in that
very,
than anything
it's
else.
very
Just-
funny.
That's
Delvin.
cool.
Josh gets. Oh, Kyle.
It look cool. Quackley looks awesome. I like.
You see the chat?
That's my favorite so far. He's like wearing like a hat. Is that what the
Yeah.
duck's wearing?
It's
I like
adorable.
it.
It's got a little duck
Adorable.
fluff.
I like it.
I like Fuecoco too. It's kind of like a Totodile type thing. Honestly, I like all three of them. You know, Sprigatito is the cat. I would love to have all three and just that be my team, actually. Like, usually, here's the thing. Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Let's Go, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I always get rid of my starter. Kyle knows. Kyle can tell you in the chat. Rebecca, like, everybody thinks it's nuts. I'll trade my starter to, like, the highest bidder almost instantly so I can play the game with a Pokemon that I like. And here, not only have they given me a starter that I want, they've actually given me three. Like, I would like to have all three starters. So it's a good start for me. I wasn't expecting to buy 2 Pokemon games this year, and looks like I'm going to.
I will say this. Out of all the Pokemon games that came out recently, these are the 3 starters that actually look like, well, they actually look cool. I like how
They
they
do.
look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they nailed it.
I'm impressed. Yeah.
Nailed
They
it.
look like Pokemon I want to play with. So yeah, props to them.
Cool. Well,
Yeah,
let's get into
yeah.
some more speculative news. Jeff Grubb over on Grub Snacks, hashtag sub for Grub, dropped bombs last week, and I was very excited to talk about them. So let's start on the Xbox side. He says that Xbox is looking at remaking franchises, and he's mentioned Gears and Fallout. Gears we've heard about for a while. We've been expecting some remake news, whether it be a Master Chief Collection or just another standalone remake. And then he mentioned Fallout. And then in addition to Fallout, he said that Obsidian, Xbox, and Bethesda have at least discussed Obsidian doing a follow-up to Fallout New Vegas. I've got a lot of thoughts, but again, I don't want to hog the news segment. So, Josh, what do you think about Xbox doing remasters or returning to Fallout?
I mean, as far as Fallout, I honestly could care less because I feel like we've been revisiting them every year or so. I'm really excited for just in general. Like, we've seen these remaster treatments for Resident Evil and even spin-offs like the Forgotten City for Skyrim and things like that. So we don't.
I mean, everything. The Last of Us, Assassin's Creed, like we got a Gears remake. Like everything's getting Call of Duties.
Yeah,
like, if you've got a collection of stuff, it makes sense and it makes money
gonna
to
get
remaster.
remade.
Yeah, I think I'm just more on the camp of remake than remaster, and that's really what I would be more worried about. We don't need more remasters. Like I do agree that it's cool when you can get like Mass Effect remaster, right? Because a lot of people just kind of didn't play that game, especially when it came out as a console exclusive for the first game. So some people just skipped it altogether. But when we're talking about like Dead Space remake and we're thinking maybe Xbox titles, yeah, I mean, we have the rumored GoldenEye, right? We know Perfect Dark's getting remade. Yeah, let's tell Gears again. I'm okay with that. Let's tell it again at the current generation. There's so many people who have Xbox One X's and S's now who never played a Gears. We see it all the time in our Discord. I just got my Xbox Series whatever, and I never played Gears. Where should I start? Well, boom. This year, Gears remake is coming out. Start there.
A Gears of War Master Chief Collection makes all the sense in the world for a bunch of different things. One, it's incredible value you can pack into a game and have into a service like Game Pass that you can just subscribe to. But I think more importantly, they're not available on PC. You've got Gears 4, you've got Gears 5. You'd remaster, get all that multiplayer, and you get it on PC via Game Pass, via Steam. And now you're cultivating that Gears community because it might be a while before the next Gears installment. So I'm all for that. Like remaster plus, man, to replay Gears 2 and 3. I recently replayed Gears 1, but to play 2 and 3 all over again would be just a dream. I would love to do it. Now, whether they want to remake it, remaster, I don't really care. My stance has always been that I think any good game that has fans and community deserves to stay current. Like that's how you fight game preservation is you keep bringing those games forward and making them available. So I definitely think Gears qualifies. The Fallout one I've got, at least I think, some interesting things. I think a remaster for Fallout makes sense because it's going to be a while. They're making Starfield, and then they're going to do Elder Scrolls. It's going to be a long time before we get another Fallout game. So how do you kind of let people wait? You remaster something. I think what's interesting is that Jeff specifically said that Obsidian, Xbox, and Bethesda is talking about a sequel to Fallout New Vegas. If there was one to remaster, the one that I would remaster would be New Vegas. Remaster Fallout New Vegas and then release the sequel or announce the sequel. Like do the remaster and then announce the sequel. So I thought that was interesting. I don't necessarily know if it makes a ton of sense to remaster 3 or 2 more so than the New Vegas. I think New Vegas would probably make more people happy. That's just me though. I'm not a Fallout person.
It's not just you. I think that's the most beloved of all the Fallout games really is New Vegas.
And especially if you have any plans or hope to have any plans of Obsidian actually, because they're busy too. They're doing Avowed and stuff. So like it's going to be a while. Even if they were like, yeah, we're going to do it. I'm talking 6-7 years maybe. You know, because what are they doing? Outer Worlds 2 and then Avowed? Right?
I think so.
Right. So like it's going to be a minute, even if they wanted to do it. So if you had any plans for them to be like, we're going to let you do New Vegas 2, whatever that looks like, whether they call it New Vegas or whatever, then yeah, the New Vegas makes sense to maybe remaster first. Go ahead and get that out the door.
Yeah.
I agree. That's the one you kind of want to do because people love that game. People talk about that game all the time to this day. I selfishly would want to see the original Fallout remade or remastered because I never played it.
Original, like the top down,
the old school, I would like. I never played it.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool to see just where Fallout came from and the whole concept of it, and just get the idea for it. I think that's cool.
I was thinking of giving Fallout 4 another try. Like, and Fallout has never been my thing. Maybe on Steam Deck, maybe it would click to me. There've been a few games that I've tried later on that I got, that clicked for me than the last time I tried them. But the combat just always felt so slow. I want to, especially like an open world thing. I want like an action oriented combat. It's never been my kind of thing. So, on to what I think you guys will want to talk about much more. Jeff Grubb actually broke down what he expects PlayStation Spartacus to end up being. So let me cover the tiers for you guys. The first tier will be called Essential. It's $10 a month. You get PlayStation Plus monthly games. The next tier is Extra. You get everything in Essential. It's $13 a month, and you get the addition of downloadable game catalog. So kind of like what you envision PlayStation Now as. Then the premium tier, which includes the 2 tiers below it, will be called Premium. It's $16 a month, and it's like EA Play. You get trials to new game releases, plus a catalog of classic games and streaming. So if you kind of take that PS3 streaming, maybe some PlayStation 1 classics, some PS2 classics, or Vita or PSP, who knows? Nobody knows. And then you throw that in there with some demos, some trials to play, $16 a month. He's unsure if they will offer any annual purchase options. So a lot of people with PlayStation Plus, you buy annually and you save a little bit of money. He has no idea if that's going to be included. Personally, I asked him and reached out, and I actually reached out for an update today. He also has no idea if this will plans for Spartacus to be supported on PC at all. So there's no mention of that at all. Like right now, we have PlayStation Now on PC. We don't know if this will roll into that or include it or just not. He does expect it to be shown by the end of the month, which is, I don't think that's news. We've been hearing that from a few different sources for a while now. People have been saying like March.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? PlayStation Spartacus possibly unveiled.
Sounds expensive. If I'm hearing you correctly, you said $10 a month for the PlayStation Plus version, essentially.
Yep.
That's way more than what it costs now for PlayStation Plus.
Not if you got the monthly option. If you do the monthly option, that's exactly what PS Plus is. If you
so
buy
I'm hoping
annual, you cut that in half.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's an annual option to this because
he went further to say that he thinks that's why they're pulling cards and stuff, those subscriptions from stores and retail, is either they're not going to offer it or they don't want you to be able to like stack in advance.
Or they're going to rebrand it so it says like different text. But my worry is the the trials, right? Like they haven't fixed how their current free trials work. And
yeah, we haven't.
That's that whole thing about like once you download it or once you start downloading, it starts like your timer. Like they need to fix that if they're
Whether
going to
you're
include
playing
that.
it or not. Yeah, because they've done this a few times. They did it with Little
Yeah.
Big Planet, right?
Yeah, Little Big Planet, a couple other games, but I was like, the second
Mhm.
it starts downloading, and you guys talked about it on PSVG, we talked about it on Board with VG. It's really about like, and even I pay a lot for internet, and I get good internet speeds, but it's not always consistent.
Mhm.
And then you also see between Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation, each one of those has a different download speed, regardless of my internet speed.
Sure.
So
Yep.
unless they can start like offering a more streamlined version of that where they're not capping anything, and my internet service provider doesn't cap, and I know some other people's in the country do, it's really just kind of still messy. It really reminds me of that whole Xbox trying to go cloud. Like even 5, 6, 7 years after they tried to do that, we're still not anywhere where we need to be for all of this internet based gaming. Like
Sure.
we need to be further ahead, and $16 a month for the potential to do that, I still think is a lot. Even if they nail that, even if they nail your free trials, they're not offering enough to be competitive. But also, if you're a PlayStation gamer, I think that is enough for you to want to try it. But if you're like us, where you have both consoles, I don't know that it's pulling me away from Game Pass at all.
That was going to be my take, but I want to hear what Dev has to say first.
This, I mean, you already know this is the most uninteresting thing to me at all. Like, I'm not enticed by trials at all. I typically know exactly what I'm going to play. I don't need a trial. I don't replay games. So classic games and streaming, the only classic games that I actually want to play, I still own, and I still own the console. So if I want to play them, I can. But 9 times out of 10, I'm not going back to that. I think that there are a lot of people who do like that type of stuff. Like Delvin went out and bought a PS3 and bought a bunch of PS3 games. There is
Glad I
an
did now.
audience for that.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. There is an audience for that, but they have to hit the right price. And I just don't know that $16 a month is the right price. Especially when you look at something like Game Pass, which is $15 a month, and you get to play all those games everywhere, and it's just a bunch of brand new free games. It's not trials. You get the AAA first party, like in-house games, and a bunch of other third-party games that are great. Like I
Guardians.
just don't know that. Yeah, Guardians is coming to Game Pass, so
That's
I
crazy.
don't know how I would
they'll
want to pay
still-
$16 for trials of new games.
They'll still have
and a
PlayStation
bunch
Now.
of classic games.
Like the
Yeah,
PlayStation
and
Now
I
being
get Shadow
included.
Warrior 3.
Yeah.
Like no, just no.
I mean, I'm
it
with
just
you.
It doesn't stack up. So
Obviously,
I think if this is what it comes, the price is wrong.
the price
Way
is
too
wrong.
high.
No, I agree with you. I'm not. I mean, obviously, we're not judging anything. We don't know. This is just what's being reported ahead of time. We don't know. So no judgments aside. But if this is what it is, they've got to do several things. We don't know what the trial is. So trial 5 hours, 10 hours, 20
Right.
hours, right? Like that could mean a lot. That depending on what it is, that could mean a lot differently to different folks. We also don't know if they are going the EA play route. Are they committing to putting stuff in a vault at some point? Like, well, can they commit that everything will be in the vault 6 months after release, a year after release, 2 years after release? We don't know. We also don't know what their classic games, like, I honestly think if their classic game catalog is legit, like if they bring the classic games, it could be very viable service. Just honestly on that alone. And then
If I can download them, sure. If I gotta stream them,
of course.
no.
But ultimately my take is if this is what they're hinting at, I think there will be a lot of PlayStation fans that subscribe to this just to have something similar to Game Pass. I don't think you're winning over anybody with Game Pass with this offer. It feels like PlayStation is trying a bit too hard to have their cake and eat it too, but it is progress. I do think this is a step in the right direction. And if this is what it is, if let's just say Jeff has nailed it and this is it, I don't think they're going to be very successful for long until they kind of add more to it. And I think they might. And this might just be like the first step, right? They kind of get it out there, they get a reaction to it, and then eventually I could see them, as we've talked about before, I mentioned before, like the next Sackboy, the next Little Big Planet, the next, Twisted Metal, like they'll throw that kind of stuff in there occasionally. And I think it'll probably lead to them eventually getting to where they need to be, because this thing's going to be compared to Game Pass instantly.
Yep.
And they've got to know
technically,
how this would come off.
Outside of the trials, like we already have exactly this. It's just PS now. That
it's just wrapped up.
It's just PS now. They have all the older games. You can buy PS1 games on PS on the store right now. Like Busta Rhymes said, you're going to have to give me some more.
Better quality emulation would also be very interesting, and like I would be appreciated if they had better quality. I wasn't very happy with PS4's emulation.
You would think that, like, since you're the maker of all this stuff, your emulation would just be on point.
Yeah, well, people would say the same thing about Nintendo, and
that's what I'm saying. I'm lumping Nintendo into that as well. It's like, you made this.
Yeah.
Why the hell is your emulation trash?
Yeah,
it's like they paid someone extra to make it worse.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Right.
Hey, go into Majora's Mask and make everything worse.
Hopefully, you won't have to wait for long to find out. And we'll hold judgment until then.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2, 3, those are the remakes, and Resident Evil 7 will be coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S consoles, and PC with free visual enhancements later this year.
Nice.
I'm very excited. I've been wanting a boost to Resident Evil 7 for quite some time. It's not that I think it's bad, but I think it could be a lot better. I thought it could have been better when it was released. I think the visual aesthetic of it being so dark most of the time in that game, and like the film grain really kind of hides its lack of sharpness. And I would love to replay that game in a higher level. The other two, I don't know if I'd replay, but Resident Evil 7 I will absolutely go back to.
Resident Evil 3 has been on sale like consistently, and I haven't bought that one yet. I really like the Resident Evil 2 remake, but
3's good.
You can get Nemesis on PC today for $10, I think.
Grab Resident Evil 3 remake on sale now and just get ready to upgrade it when they do the update.
Steam Deck, baby.
Yeah, get it at a good
just
price.
what I need. Resident Evil 7 to be scarier. No.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and I think they mention. I didn't write it down. But I think they mentioned. Are they adding VR options to it as well?
Huh?
Dear
Oh, I don't know.
I saw somebody say that they were adding some VR options to some of
it.
these.
Is in VR, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
So I could see that. They should add that. Seen those commercials for that Haptic Fest? They should add that for Resident Evil 7 so you can feel it when you get stabbed by these crazy hillside eyes.
God, no.
Love it. Love it, Josh. Xbox Game Pass, talking about it, updated some games. So out now, already available is Fall Changing Tides. You can download that and play. Tomorrow you can download and play Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13?
13.
It's actually underrated. Pretty underrated game.
March 10th, happy birthday to me. You can download and play Kentucky Route Zero, Lawn Mowing Simulator, Young Souls, and the previously mentioned Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, several people's favorite game from last year.
Yeah.
Arriving to Xbox Game Pass. And then leaving March 15th, if you haven't played them yet, The Surge 2, Torchlight 3, Nier Automata.
I was very surprised at Torchlight 3. I didn't play any of the Torchlight games, and I played Torchlight 3 because it was on Game Pass, and I love that game.
Solid.
It's Diablo with pets and cartoony.
Is that the one that's on Switch?
It's probably on Switch.
I think listening to you, I got the Switch copy, and I played it for about 10 hours.
Yeah, it's probably on Switch. It's not like a crazy like system hog, but it's a ton of fun. I was really surprised with how much I liked it. I couldn't believe I slept on 1 and 2. And then I started reading reviews, and I think Torchlight 3 took a different direction than 2. So they had some like fan base turmoil with that game. But 3 was very good.
Some quick hitters. Steam is not looking into doing any sort of Steam Pass, which I think is interesting. It seems
sense.
like everybody's doing some sort of subscription. You would think maybe Steam would want to get on it, but no. And they did say Valve would be happy to work with Microsoft to bring Game Pass to Steam.
Awesome.
I hope this happens. I really do.
That'd be cool. Really
I've been
cool.
thinking of all the ways in my head. I think with the acquisition that Xbox has made, I think you can make a really, really strong case that any Xbox first-party game that's published into Steam, you could play on Steam Deck if you're a Game Pass member. Just the first-party stuff. None of the third-party. I think the third party is where it gets messy, because then you're reaching into Valve's pocketbook, right? But I actually think there's a serious win here for Microsoft. They're like, look, if we publish the game and you're a Game Pass member, you can play it on Steam if you want. Or you can buy it on Steam if you want. But if you're already a Game Pass member, we'll just let you connect your accounts. And you can play Gears on Steam. You can play Halo on Steam. You can play on your Steam Deck. I think that, because if you think about it, they'll have all the Bethesda stuff, all Activision stuff. Then you add in Halo, Gears, Forza, Fable, Perfect Dark. That's a lot. That's quite a bit amount of games. So even if you don't get the third-party stuff, just the first-party stuff, I think is valuable to the point, I dare say,
won't need it.
Would Game Pass members be okay with, like, let's say you pay $5 extra to have Steam access? I would pay for it. Yeah. I would give them $5 extra so I could just play everything on my Steam Deck. Yeah.
The amount of games that are available on Steam, if they lost all their revenue from Microsoft games, they wouldn't blink an eye. They have so many options. So this is only beneficial to them.
Yeah, I agree.
Would this just be for Steam Deck, or do you just mean like just across the board? Like,
I think there's a couple things here. I do think there's and I'm not the PC like, savant. But I definitely know know that there's a lot of people that play on PC that just don't want Game Pass. They don't want the launcher. They don't want the subscription.
It sucks.
So if they integrated it into Steam, if they just brought all those exclusives to Steam, I do think there's some overlap there. There are people on Steam that would pay for a Game Pass subscription to just Xbox first party if they could keep playing on Steam. And then for me, I'm just saying selfishly, so I don't have to buy 2 copies of the game or until Game Pass is working on Steam Deck. If I could just play the Microsoft published titles on my Steam Deck natively through Steam without rebuying the game, that's a win-win. Yeah. I think you're just making a lot of people happy by working this out. And I think the third-party stuff, that's where it gets weird. Like the show, and that's where it gets weird. So what's the solution? Well, either you write a check to Valve or you just limit it. You limit it to just your first-party stuff. And I think their first-party stuff is so big after their acquisitions that it still has value. I think it still has value.
Yeah, I was actually part of a research group this week with Microsoft surrounding Game Pass on PC, and my biggest piece of feedback to them was your versions of the game they suck. So, and they were like, "That's good to know. We'll take that back to the team," because like the PC versions of Dishonored, Senua's Sacrifice, they just through the Game Pass app, the Xbox app, like those versions of the game just run awful. You can change the settings in game, and they don't actually change the settings. Like you can't actually change the resolution. You can't change the frame rate. The stuff just runs awful. And it's all in forms. Like it's all over the place. So,
well, they have, they did just release a giant update to Game Pass on PC.
It didn't fix it. It didn't fix it. I tried it. It didn't fix any of the issues that I was having with either of those games.
Well, because I was going to say that when I got my PC, I started downloading a lot of stuff on my Game Pass for PC app. And I was actually planning on coming in here about 2 weeks ago and telling everybody that I thought the Game Pass app sucked. Because I kept getting these like really long load times, these blank load times, and it just seemed like it would never catch up.
Yeah.
What ended up having to do through some sleuthing on Reddit was I had to go into the Windows 11 settings and I had to turn on like gaming services specifically for the app. And since I've done that, I haven't ran into any issues. Now, I've mainly been playing Madden on it. I've been playing Madden, a little Age of Empires, but I have been able to adjust some stuff. It's not Steam level, but I have been able to do some stuff. But it's basically like what you can do on console. It's basically because it is console. It's basically just like console. So if you want more of a Steam-like experience, I think that'd be fine. I'm totally fine with them just dropping it. Just put it into Steam. Steam has it working, so just integrate with them.
Yeah.
And I think a Steam Microsoft partnership, a stronger Steam Microsoft partnership, makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft didn't just buy Steam one day. I wouldn't be shocked. I think they might try. So, yeah. But regardless, I was really excited to hear that news because I hope they do it. because my future Steam Deck will be happy. GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition received the big 1.6 patch. I played it for 2 hours today. It's mostly the same experience it's been. Wasn't that Vice City, I should mention specifically. There's a lot of patch notes. It seems like they fixed a lot of stuff. A lot of missions that are working, a lot of achievements that are working. I'm specifically referring to the performance. They said it was more stable. I'd even seen people tweet that it was like 4K 60 now. It's not. It's not. I could tell you that almost instantly. It's not. So performance wise, it's mostly some of the same. It looks good in performance mode on Series X. It's 30 if you want to play in fidelity mode. I don't. And it struggles. Like when the scene gets busy, it can get a little choppy. So I'm hoping that they smooth it out.
So weird.
Pac-Man Museum Plus launches in May with a bunch of Pac-Man games and a virtual arcade builder. Excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer. I had no interest in playing it.
This one's for you, Delvin. Kenny Omega says gameplay for the upcoming AEW game is coming soon with an update. And he said, quote, "We'll never be able to compete with the production value of WWE's game. You look at 2K22 and it's absolutely gorgeous." So I'm excited,
21, right?
So I'm excited to see all their bells and whistles when it finally releases. And that's what, next week?
Yeah.
But for us, rather than pushing the envelope massively or anything like that, we just want the wrestling to feel like how it used to feel for people when they play wrestling games back in the day.
Oh,
that's good. That's what I want to hear. That's exactly what I want to hear. Like, hey, it feels good and it plays good. I understand. I can understand it doesn't look like, because the 2K game look like photorealistic.
The new one looks stellar. Like I'm very excited to play it. It looks so good.
I can't wait until GameStop steals my money for a steelbook and gives me a cardboard box.
You know how funny it is that what did I see? Twitter, 20% of the wrestlers that included in the roster for 2K22 have been let go.
All fired.
They don't even work fired anymore.
They work other places. All of them. All of them. It's insane.
I look forward to creating Bray Wyatt and beating the hell out of Hulk Hogan for 12 continuous hours.
That's a good idea.
Or Goldberg. I'm gonna get his revenge for Goldberg. You
can't hurt Hulk Hogan more than he would hurt himself.
Yeah, you say that.
Congratulations on getting another divorce, Hulk Hogan. You deserve it.
Yeah, I'm definitely playing 2K22. Very excited.
I am too. I can't
NWO edition. Delvin. Too sweet, baby.
Too sweet, babe.
That's it for the news.
I like that's supposed to do something there.
No, just us.
No, right? yeah. Y'all can have that. All right, let's get to these questions. All right, first up, we got Brendan. He says, what is one place that you love to eat, but it's not in town? For him, it's a place called Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen, and he loves him a deep fried Monte Cristo.
Nice.
Whoa.
Is that a Cuban sandwich?
Okay. I'll give you a couple.
Yeah, similar, yeah.
When I go to Ohio, I always hit Donato's, and I always get a Big Don Italian sub. That's an easy one. Here in Atlanta, for anybody that's traveling to Atlanta, I'll give you a couple spots. Front Page News, which I haven't been to since the start of COVID. I don't even know if they're available anymore. But Front Page News is down in Little Five, which is kind of like this hipster artsy area. It was, I think the restaurant was either started or taken over by some folks that left during Katrina. So they've got like some amazing Cajun food. The best black and blue burger I've ever had. They had a real like in-house blue cheese melted over bacon and a big burger. But my wife always gets like crawfish etouffee and stuff. The other one that I'll go to is in Atlanta off Memorial in a cinder block building that looks like you might get robbed. There's a place called Nick's, and it is the best gyro I've ever had. They're about 10 or 15 bucks, and you can get a lamb gyro or a beef gyro with the Greek fries and everything. Nick is Greek, and him and his family have been doing food business his entire life. So he has this. It's not open on weekends. Don't go down on Memorial on the weekend. You will get robbed. But if you go down Monday through Friday, you'll be fine. And great. Every time I go into work, I'm always wanting to hop over to Nick's for a gyro. It's fantastic.
The only place that I really like to eat that's not in town is a place called Sky's Tacos. It's in LA. It's this little tiny little place that has been there for as long as I can remember, and their tacos are just bomb. It is a place that we will go if we're even remotely going to be in LA. We will go out
Yeah.
of the way to go get a Sky's Tacos or Porto's. Chaffee, I hope you know. You should know what Porto's is. Porto's is bomb. We actually order Porto's, like you can order and have them ship you a box of their stuff. So we'll do that as well. But those are probably the only two places that I can think of that just are not here in Bakersfield that we will go out of our way for. I'm not the big food person, but I will fuck a Sky's Taco up. Shit's
You
good.
just jogged my memory, so I'm gonna steal another one before the other two jump in here. Also in Atlanta, down off Peachtree Street, downtown, go to a place called the Blossom Tree, where they make Korean tacos and dumplings, and just it's a good thing I work from home now, because geez, I'd be 100 pounds heavier if I was that close to Blossom Tree anymore. Like, it is just, it's so damn good.
Who's going? Delvin?
Either
Me?
one.
I'll go.
Either one.
I don't.
Delvin's buckets
jump
of
in.
rice and stuff.
Go,
I'm trying
going
to
out of
think
town.
because I have two answers, but one of them I'm trying to find the name of the place because one of them is well, I'll just say I think it's called Bento Box. It's in Pembroke Pines, Florida.
Yeah,
It's a little they sell sushi there and it's fantastic. They in the little bento box and it has everything in there. And I go there usually a lot of times for my birthday. I just go there and get me a bento box and get me some sushi, and it's really, really good. Make it
Did they
fresh.
put it in a bucket for you?
No, it goes in a little cute little bento box.
I know what a bento box is.
Like a little
Yeah.
taste of Japan. Yeah. I like it a lot. Also, Pembroke Pines is a nice area to go if you're a tourist from Miami or South Florida. Nice little area to go eat at and take a date at. I recommend it. Not the hood area of it. Because
So did you get robbed by people on scooters?
No.
Right, I
Not,
was gonna say,
if you go to
maybe you
if
should move there because
That's
I
got to
should
be
know
so
it.
embarrassing. The cop comes up to you. They're like, "What happened?" You're like, "There's a dude on a scooter." Okay, he rolled up. He took my stuff and he just rode away. And
He
the
got
cop's like,
50
"What
cents
the-"
from me and drove away.
going
Why didn't you
a
chase him
brisk
down?
35 miles per hour.
Like, you're a
you
bike
shook me
lock.
down for 50 cents.
You're a bike lock away from ruining this person's entire life. Like, that's all. That's how little he had is a scooter.
Yeah. That's Miami.
Scooty Puff Jr., baby. I'm very fortunate that we have so many like good restaurants around us that I don't typically have to drive out of town to go anywhere, which is nice. But that being said, going to PAX Unplugged in Philly when we were going before COVID, they have their own, and it's kind of, they have their South Street Market, which is like just what I would imagine a lot of places have, like Chicago, where you walk into this giant building and it's just one floor and it's food merchants as far as you can see, kind of thing, where you can like walk in, you can get sushi, you can get dumplings, you can get pizza, you can get Philly steak and cheese, all that kind of stuff. That whole area in Philly is incredible, right on South Street. And then I'm also very fortunate to live very close to Boston. So you want to go to Chinatown or the South End, you can very easily find the best Chinese food or Italian food that you've ever had. And it's pretty consistent any restaurant you go to. There used to be a restaurant called Chrome in Boston, which was Italian food, which I actually...
It's so weird because
when I was in London, they also
Boston,
had a Chrome.
I go seafood, like just in my head. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
expecting, yeah,
Yeah, seafood and Italian food. They're if you find a seafood restaurant, there's an Italian restaurant right next door. So, but yeah, like Boston Harbor, yeah, you can't go anywhere. You could throw a rock and hit a seafood joint.
Okay.
No problem. And I think that's maybe I'm spoiled, right? Because I don't.
Yeah, you caught me off guard. You're like, you come to Boston, you can go get some Chinese food, some Italian food. I was like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah. There's so much because I feel like you get used to it, right? Like you're used to going to this place, this area, and you're like, the first instinct is like, I'm gonna get seafood, right? But I mean,
Yeah,
my whole
definitely not
life-
mine. I don't like seafood.
yeah,
I think it's a big issue with me when my wife's family takes me to New Orleans. I'm not into it at all. I'm like, yeah, I want to get out
Sure.
of here. I just do not like seafood.
makes
you
total
like
sense.
sushi?
I agree.
I love sushi. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I know. I can't explain it. I love
It's a
sushi.
different vibe. I understand what you're saying. Sushi, you don't even get a seafood taste out of it.
Yeah, no, it's totally different. And it's like,
On paper,
just
you
because I
should,
don't like
but you
sushi
don't.
doesn't mean I wouldn't eat a shrimp. Like, that's fine. But
Yeah.
oysters, clams, chowder, like fish.
Yeah, you avoid the mucusy creatures.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. That is so gross.
Yeah, it's
That
like
is
mayo.
so funny. I mean, I don't think about
Crawfish,
both
like,
of them. I'm just thinking about like fish, but you're eating the raw fish versus the cooked version of it. I'm just like,
I don't know,
does
man.
not compute.
It's more
Texture,
refined.
texture.
Soy sauce saves everything. Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
different taste,
I
different
love
texture.
sushi. I ordered sushi yesterday for lunch, man. It was just
Also, Spader in the chat and from Philly. Yeah, like I got my first Philly cheesesteak, and man, I was told to get the street Philly cheesesteak, not
With
the
the cheese
restaurant
whiz?
ones. Yes,
yes.
and Philly pretzels, street pretzels. Like I got some good info going to Philly, and I had ramen in Philly, and it's still one of the best ramen joints I've ever been to. They crushed it, and it
Yeah,
was
a real
authentic
ramen bowl.
Ramen,
Yeah, no, that's good.
It was
That's
so
good,
good.
eating. It's
a
good
nice
eating.
pear sake to go with it. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Nice.
didn't go
Very
to
nice.
Pat's or Gino's. I went to a street cart as Spade was jumping in.
You can't go to too many street carts in LA. You end up with something.
In Boston, that's all
dangerous.
you get. You go to Fenway Park, you
It's
hit the
dangerous.
street sausages, and that's not
Yeah.
a euphemism.
When
That's just what you hit.
when me and my wife go to New York on the 2 or 3 times that I've taken her, 3 times I've taken her, I'm always eating at food carts. And the first time I took her, she was like not really having it. She's like, "What is this?" Like, "Oh, this is the best damn food you'll ever have in your life. That's what it is. Get over
It's
here."
authentic, good food.
I have a real Philly cheesesteak, get some cheese whiz. I don't do onions, but I do mushrooms, some mushrooms, green peppers.
Yeah, yep.
Just fold it all in there and put it into the little thing. Just I eat like a monster when I'm in New York City. Just walking hard.
Awful.
The best.
All right, next up, we got John. He says, with all the buzz around the Steam Deck, do you think PlayStation or Xbox should make a portable too? No.
Oh wow, I didn't expect we'd all answer the same way.
No.
And my answer is also no.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Xbox and Game Pass, it is their portable system.
Yeah.
It's on
That's
everything.
Yeah, it is
that's
now.
the answer.
Yeah.
You know what the
Right.
answer
Yeah.
is, PlayStation? Put your games on Steam and let people use the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
That's the
what I was gonna
answer.
say.
The
Something like
Steam
that.
Deck is the answer.
Truthfully speaking,
Yes.
Switch, Nintendo does it better. Steam's doing it better. So
Mhm.
why even bother?
Why
Like,
bother? Just
let
keep
them handle
making
it.
great games
Just
and
sell
let
the
them be
games.
played on the Steam Deck and call it
Yeah.
a day. There's your portable.
Sell the
You're good
games.
to go.
There's your Vita.
Real
Did
simple.
you see Jeff? He's got Persona 5 on his man.
I saw that.
Yes, just let the Steam Deck be the portable. Xbox doesn't need a portable. Like, obviously they would do something weird, like touchscreen controls or cloud streaming Surface, Xbox, whatever. Like, just no. Steam
You know
Deck.
what they already have?
just put their stuff
Like-
on Steam Deck and keep it moving.
I agree.
I mean, it's on Steam, so it's on Steam Deck. It already
Exactly.
exists. We already have it. It's already been done. All right. Next question from Loru Legend. He says, did you expect Advance Wars to be delayed due to the current state of the world? Even if it doesn't, do you expect sales to suffer?
No,
No.
I understand why you'd ask the question. It is a war game. It's not like Call of Duty. You're not walking into, Ukraine in 3D realism or Russian or anything. It's little cartoons and tanks and stuff. It's rock, paper, scissors with cartoon things. I don't expect the things to suffer. I don't expect Nintendo to delay it. Would I put it past them? No, I wouldn't. And it's not because they don't want to do it or anything. I don't think they would come out and be like, with all that's going on in the world, we just don't want to release this game right now. I don't think they would do that at all, because I think that would hurt their game. I just think they would come out and be like, it needs more time. And it just delays it, a year. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that happens, but I don't think it will, because I don't think they're really all that similar. Maybe Maybe they don't market it as much or push it as much. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But these are games that already exist too. These are remakes. So
Yeah.
it's not like, they're bringing something, new to the world. You could already play Advance Wars if you want. So
Yeah, I don't even think War when I think Advance Wars. Like it just
Yeah,
doesn't even
it's not the same.
like tickle that brain space. So
It's fair to think about. I wouldn't be, it's fair to think about.
yeah. All right, next up from Kyle. This is an interesting one. I'm really curious to see all you guys' answers. If you had to pick one video game world to live in for the rest of your life, where would you live and why?
Man,
I got an answer right away. You ready?
Go for it.
Fable.
oh, that's
Fable.
a good answer.
I would live in Albion because I crave a mediocre life. I would love to just live in Albion and chase my chicken around.
Yeah.
And just be bored to death.
Be a minstrel.
Just
like farming.
Escape from this nonsense social media life. Get me out of here, please. I grew up in the wrong decade.
So my answer is a lot like yours, but what I was going to say is this reminds me of the question Delvin asked me in the Delvin Cox experience of which character I would want to be, which I answered terribly, but it's almost very similar. Albion's a great answer. My answer is going to be Vice City for a lot of the same thing. Like, get me out of the modernity. I was also bored in the wrong time. Dude, send me back to the 80s. The music was better. The clothes were better. Give me the neon. Like, just send me back there. Yep, I'm good.
Or just trade lives.
You just want to be Miami Vice, basically, right?
That's what you want. It's fantastic. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
My golf cart. Yeah, good stuff.
Chaffee.
I mean, can I cheat and just say put me in NBA 2K and I can live out my dream of being a basketball player? Can I cheat with that?
Yeah, but you're not necessarily a basketball player in the game. You could just be a spectator. It's the world that you want to be in. The world that you just picked is just the Staples Center. You can be over there now.
They got the whole 2K street scene, so I'm just a street baller. You know what I'm saying?
But you could just be one of the people watching the street ballers play.
No, I'm above that. I'm gonna be.
It's not. But you're picking the character. You're not picking your role.
Look here.
You're picking the setting.
Sir.
You have to pick the setting. You just picked a park. That was your
what
answer.
What if I picked Def Jam Vendetta?
A park.
I'm saying like NBA Street Volume 2. I'm just like, come on, let's go.
Okay.
Mario 3v3 hoops.
Wii Sports.
God no, it's awful.
Wii Sports Resort.
I'm trying to think of a world that won't kill me.
Right, that's why I'm like everything that I enjoy is just there's murder afoot.
Yeah,
I was gonna make a Far Cry 5 joke. I was like, well, that's just the world, so
yeah,
can't be doing that. That's just now.
I'll be Destiny. That way, if I die, I can just come back. My ghost can just revive me, and I can just go live a life of adventure and call it a day.
That works.
I want to say The Sims.
We're gonna put you in the middle of a pool and then remove all the
exactly. See, I thought about that. That would be awful.
Concrete in the middle, and you're just gonna pee yourself until you starve to death.
Maybe I could just be like a visual novel. One of those PlayStation visual novels that have like, oh, this could be porn, but it's not.
Oh God.
Delvin just went Senran Kagura.
Well, you said you wanted to be somewhere that wouldn't kill you. You picked the one game that would kill you the most, which is The Sims.
I think Donnie Leon just sit around Kagura, just around a bunch of anime girls all day.
Put his ass in
Catherine. My clothes fell off.
I was thinking Catherine myself. That was one of the first ones when I saw the question was Catherine.
That sounds terrible.
But again, you're not picking the role. You're picking the setting, and you're right. Yeah, exactly. There's all this evil Block Kubert part of Catherine too, and I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, no, my luck, I'll be like in purgatory in that game.
Right?
I'm okay.
Goats and shit. No thanks. I'm good.
Good Lord.
Chalfie's right. Put me in Leisure Suit Larry.
Albion's a good answer.
Thank you.
All right. So Kevin, this is a good one. Good Lord.
It's on brand.
He said if it is very on brand. If you were to rename the poorly named mouthful mode for Kirby,
it says Kevin.
What would you choose instead?
I mean, Nintendo nailed it. I have an answer.
Me too.
It was predicted that it would be the Gawk 3000. That wouldn't be my answer.
I was not thinking that would be your answer at all.
Yeah, that wouldn't
would
be my answer because obviously they're not going to name their mode
Right.
Gawk 3000 mode. But Nintendo could name it Dome mode.
Hey, that's what I was
Dome
thinking
mode
earlier. I was like, Dome
That's a good
mode.
name.
That would be my answer. Dome mode.
Mine's a little more
Dome mode.
complicated. It
Mhm.
has to be specific to each item he is becoming. So, like, give me an example of an item that Kirby can Big Mouth mode.
Can
A
Big
car.
Mouth mode?
A car. So it would have to be called Cars Deep mode.
Cars Deep mode.
And then if it was like
Jesus.
the cone, it would have to be Traffic Cone Deep mode. Like fill in the blank deep mode. Eventually you could get the balls deep mode.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
They would call it Kirby
Um,
Deep mode.
Kirby Deep mode. There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna call it the swallowing and goblin mode.
Oh yeah, that's the same
Swallowing
thing.
and goblin.
But he does spit it back out, so you kind of have to adjust that a little bit. Swallow and
I mean,
spit mode.
can't swallow and spit? Yeah.
Yeah. Put it in your
That's
mouth.
very
It
hole.
Nintendo.
spits and swallows. Delvin?
Put it in your mouth bowl like that Akinelli song.
That's a good
Put
one.
it in your mouth.
If you, Google that song if you don't know it.
If you can
Well,
sing it, you can put it in
Not
your
around your
mouth.
kids.
God.
Not around your kids.
Dang, that takes me back, Delvin. Wow. That's
Yes.
a good one. That's a good one. All right. Haley asks a much simpler question. She says, when do you think the first expansion for Cyberpunk will be announced?
Soon.
I have no idea. The day
Announced
that
or
it
come out?
comes out. She
Or
said
comes
announced.
out
I said
comes
the-
out
the
and
day
is
that it comes out.
patched and playable. Like,
No,
that's
it'll be
also-
announced this year, but it'll come out in 4
You won't be able to
years.
play it until 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, not until after The Witcher, right? So
I would
I'm
imagine
gonna
so.
take a shot in the dark. I'm gonna say fall.
yeah,
Whoa.
Now
I'll
it's
say like
I'm-
this October.
Yes, that's
Okay.
a great one. Choppy said
Choppy,
2077.
2077.
Oh man, it'd be next level is 2078.
Just to get you go.
Oh, shit. All right, 2 more questions and then we're gonna get out of here. From Snurts, he says, what do you think of all the PS Plus free games that are DLC or multiplayer only? His latest examples were the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer or the Borderlands DLC, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep.
I think it makes a lot of sense if you're about to announce a service that has a library of games, multiplayer content, and classic titles included.
Yeah.
So,
You also have to
didn't mind
remember
Tiny
these people
Tina.
want you to buy their games. Like people were mad about that terrible game that Devin and I bought at launch.
what was that?
We lost it.
They want you to. People were mad about Godfall, right? They were like, "Hey, why are you
Oh,
giving us
yeah,
the
yeah.
Champion Edition?" But like, they want you to buy the game, so they're giving you. It's essentially a free.
Yeah,
demo.
I do not
Yeah.
like the idea of using the subscription service for that though. Like you're subscribing and there is a
I don't like it. I just think that that's
Yeah,
a business move.
there
on
is
their
an
part.
entitlement there and a history, a precedent is a better word of you're
Yeah.
supposed to get 2 games a month, not like a portion of a game or a
Agree- I
mode of a
agree.
game. Like now you're really splitting hairs here,
a
guys.
lot of times these are like the bonus games. Like it's not even like there's still
Yeah.
3 other games within the service, like the multiplayer portion of Legends. That's just like the bonus, but there's other games that are part of the service.
Sure.
That happens to be like the extra
Right.
bonus. So a lot
Yeah.
of times that's what these games are. It's the extra bonus. Here's a little something extra. So for that, like it doesn't bother me at all. But a lot of times, like I have the games already. So like it's
I've said this
more
forever
games
about-
you don't already have.
I've said this forever about Games of Gold. I mean, this is just outdated. It's just old. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
worth getting up in arms over because this isn't where it's at anymore. And soon it's not going to be where it's at on PlayStation either. That's not what they're doing. So I think the multiplayer and service stuff makes a lot more sense a part of a bigger package because then you're like, oh man, look at the quantity of content that we have and not focusing on just the 1 or 2 releases because you're on this, you're on this thing. I didn't mention this earlier when we were talking about Spartacus. I do think there's sneakily a nice way of maybe kickstarting PlayStation VR 2. If you can have a nice collection of VR games available, in this Spartacus service tier, whatever,
That'd be
from
great.
the get-go. Yeah, that would be really nice. I think you might be able to give Sparta, and even those trials, like if you could say like every PlayStation published first-party game, you get 10-hour trials, like that means a lot to somebody that's looking at PSVR 2, I think. That's because there's not a lot of 10-hour PSVR games. So like you might just get a large amount of coverage just by being a subscriber with something like that.
Quite possibly. Do we know if the Shadow Warrior game is it the PS5 version of the game or just the PS4 version of the game?
I downloaded it and the PS4 version came up.
I hate that you even have to. I hate that you even have to ask this question. It shouldn't even be a question.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately,
I didn't see an option for a PS5 version, by the way.
Yeah, that was my other thing. I feel like it's just the PS4 version. So I'm like, I could care less. Like, if you're not giving me the goods, I don't give a shit. Give me the PS5 version or give me nothing. But I'm entitled that way.
What a bunch of junk that is. Well, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Just
Yeah.
good riddance.
That's right.
You are now just PC Donnie.
Yeah.
That's all you
And
are.
Xbox.
Nah, he's just a PC guy. I don't even consider his Xbox a thing.
Played my Xbox today.
Sure you did, buddy. It's just a PC. You have PC tier middle and PC tier high. And soon PC tier portable.
It's my slider.
That's all
my
it is.
sliders.
Yeah, it's just a slider. That's all you're doing.
Horrible mode, TV mode, master mode.
Basically. Oh, man. Well, that's going to do it for us.
Hold up.
Thank you, guys. Oh,
Look,
what?
before you go,
What?
Chelsea asked a question in the chat. I think we should answer this question.
I saw that.
Before you go,
Just ignore.
don't ignore Chelsea. Let us give him this.
You just said fuck Chalfie
You are-
earlier. Now you want to take his questions?
I'm being nice.
This is true.
It's the holiday
Quite-
season.
Bobby.
It's quite hypocritical.
Yes.
Mhm.
What holiday?
Ash Wednesday. Isn't that a holiday?
Oh, that's
Yes.
true. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I was right.
I made a reference to it earlier today.
I did.
All right. Chelsea put in a last minute question. What phrase sparks a song in your head? Example, where it's at, I got 2 turntables and a microphone.
Who says that? That's not a phrase people say. That's just a lyric.
People on skateboards in California.
Apparently,
Yeah,
like
apparently.
who's walking around and be like,
Chelsea's.
it's so specific. I've got 2 turntables and a microphone. I don't feel like that would be very common.
Chelsea's been talking about on his hit podcast.
He's literally
Cadillacs
DJing.
Unbarred.
That's why
He's
he knows
DJing now.
this.
Yep. Glad.
Mm.
Yeah,
Glad-
DJ Chalfie. On the
DJ
ones and
Chalfie.
twos, mixing labels and turning tables for your listening enjoyment.
That's why I changed my name to DJ on Twitter so I could be the first DJ before he is. So,
Yeah.
and my name is actually DJ, so it works.
Yeah. God, a phrase that sparks a song in my head. I mean, God, so many things.
Every
Mm,
phrase.
I honestly don't know.
Everything. Like
Everything that
everything
comes
for the
up.
most part. Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of the dome, but everything. There's a song for everything. So Delvin,
Yeah.
you are like the music dude.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of
Delvin.
some. It's a lot of them. Like a particular phrase. I'm trying to think of.
Something people say to you all the time.
Hmm.
Just say,
People don't
hey,
talk to
Delvin,
me.
where's
People
your
don't
head
talk
at?
to me.
Where's your head at? There you go. See?
Nailed it.
Chalfie said in his head he hears Beck. I don't even know what that. What?
Beck sings
Nobody hears
2 turntables and a microphone. That's the artist is Beck. Damn,
No
you're in
clue.
California. You should know who Beck is.
Yeah,
No, you shouldn't.
nah, Doc. Nah, Doc.
Not at all.
If it ain't hip hop, like I'm not.
He's
gonna-
hip-hop
or
adjacent.
R&B. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Also,
I think a lot of his music is influential in hip hop.
Stretch.
I don't think he's hip hop. I think his music is
I don't
influential. in hip-hop.
even. I couldn't tell you a Beck song.
He's
Dude,
no
a lot of
Moby.
times when people say spaghetti, I do think of the Eminem 8 Mile song.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
all
good
the
one.
time.
That's a
Yeah.
good
all
one.
the time.
I was trying to think of
Yeah.
one that isn't related to like a place. Because when I hear a place, I'll think of a song. Like if,
Sure.
If I hear El Segundo, I think I left my wallet in El Segundo.
Hmm.
Like, that's a song. Yeah.
Whenever people mention California, I only think of Phantom Planet and the OC.
I think I almost exclusively think of just endless amounts of Red Hot Chili Pepper songs.
Yeah, there you go.
Under the bridge downtown. Y'all just gonna have me just keep singing shit, man. Like, there you go, Chaffee. I hope you got your question answered. There's just too many phrases to even count.
He was just trying to trick you into a DMCA takedown. That's all Chaffee was trying to do.
That's next level genius, though.
Yeah.
So I got taken down by Rockstar
you guys
today.
To sing a Taylor Swift song.
How you didn't mention that? How you got taken down by Rockstar?
My Twitter account was locked by Rockstar copyright strike for posting several clips of mine. I had to jump through this whole verification thing and agree not to do it again and give them all the terms and to get my Twitter account back. Freaking Rockstar.
Cry me a river, Donnie.
Get over yourselves, Take-Two. You're the one that made the damn game.
They're about fixing a damn game. They worry about what's going to happen on Twitter.
The tweet that they took down, I can't go back to because I was wondering if it was one of the ones like, look how fucking broken this game is. Because there were several clips where I was like, look at the street signs and like, look at how everything's blinking. And there were several of those that I took that maybe had music playing or something. I don't know. Wasn't paying attention. And I'm wondering if that's one of the tweets.
Yeah,
like, Rockstar was like, fuck you, Donnie. You're not
so
doing this.
It's not like you're monetizing the tweet, so I don't understand.
Doesn't
why
matter.
They would
their
so
content.
stupid.
They don't want their content associated with
so
my
stupid.
negative opinion.
Petty revenge. That's what Rockstar is all about.
Because they didn't like the fact that I brought facts. Not only did I bring my opinion, I had video evidence to support it.
They was like, no, not on my watch.
We gotta scrub this.
No. See, there you go.
Oh,
Gotcha.
He's trying. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my headspace is going to be for the rest of the night. Anytime I hear something, it's going to turn into a song. Thanks a lot, Chaffee. Son of a bitch. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the PSVG podcast. Please feel free to check us out over on the Twitters at PSVG. Subscribe on the YouTubes and feel free to check out our Discord. And with that, play some video game.